Topic 1. Iran conflict driving market volatility and threatening oil supplies. Geopolitical instability from the Iran conflict is amplifying volatility across financial and commodity markets, with concerns about oil supply disruptions and concurrent political and military responses heightening uncertainty. ExxonMobil's Neil Chapman warned inventories are really low, saying physical Brent could spike to $150 to $106 barrel if stocks run out, even though futures have fallen to the low $90 amid ceasefire hopes. The IEA's largest ever coordinated release, 400 million barrels, and UBS commentary show Gulf loadings are extremely low, while U.S. threats of sanctions and military action, attacks spilling toward NATO territory, and uncertain U.S.-Iran negotiations keep risks elevated. Short-term ceasefire hopes have eased oil and lifted European equities, but inventory depletion, route and infrastructure damage, negotiation uncertainty, and hawkish U.S. diplomacy mean oil market and geopolitical risks remain high. Topic 2. AI as the dominant theme, fueling data center hardware demand and funding. Generative AI is driving massive demand for data center hardware. Dell reported an AI-driven revenue surge and raised long-range AI server targets, while large fundraising and debt plans are backing infrastructure expansion for major AI players. Dell's upbeat results and guidance: Q1 revenue $43.84 plus 88%, adjusted EPS 4.86, AI server sales 16.1 billion, and a 2027 AI server target raised to 60 billion illustrate the immediate beneficiary effect of GPU-based server demand and supply-constrained memory pricing. At the same time, Anthropic's huge funding announcements and talks of Apollo Blackstone debt to finance TPU capacity, plus Grok's raise, show extraordinary capital flows. TSMC warns energy use will make power efficiency the top chip design priority, and open-source LLMs and security regulatory trade-offs, Anthropic releases and risks complicate the landscape. Overall, AI is accelerating server, chip, and data center investment while creating energy constraints, valuation froth, and competitive pressures from local open-source models. Topic 3. Anthropic's near $1 trillion valuation after large funding round. Anthropic announced a private funding round totaling $6.5 billion and reported a valuation around $965 billion, placing it ahead of reported OpenAI valuations and near the $1 trillion mark. The Series H was led by Altimeter Capital, Dragoneer, Green Oaks, and Sequoia. Anthropic reported Claude-based annualized revenue on the order of $47 billion and launched Claude Opus 4.8 while discussing a security-focused model, Mythos, with the White House under restricted disclosure. The company faces a Department of Defense supply chain designation that excludes it from military contracts and an ongoing legal challenge. The new funding is expected to accelerate IPO preparations amid intense competition and regulatory legal scrutiny. Topic 4. Dell's blowout results fueling U.S. stock highs. Dell's Q1 beat and bullish outlook, revenue of $43.84 billion plus 88%, adjusted EPS 4.86 versus 2.94 consensus, AI server sales up 757% to $16.1 billion, and annual AI server guidance raised to $60 billion, triggered a 30 to 39% after-hours share surge. The company cited surging demand for NVIDIA-based AI servers, pricing power amid memory constraints, and a large U.S. defense contract. Analysts raised targets, and the rally helped lift major U.S. indices to records, with related server and data center equipment peers also climbing. Supply constraints in memory and CPUs remain a risk for sustainability, but near-term market reaction underscores how AI hardware demand is translating into outsized earnings momentum. Topic 5. Bari Weiss's overhaul at 60 Minutes and leadership shakeup. CBS News editor Bari Weiss initiated a major overhaul of the long-running news magazine 60 Minutes, firing key personnel and installing New York Times tech columnist and documentary producer Nick Bilton as lead producer, replacing Tanya Simon. Veteran correspondent Sharon Alfo